This is former WWE referee Wes Adams from Macomb, Mississippi, telling you to watch GoTarryn TV.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy Monday, November 9th. Welcome to GoTarryn TV today, and side by side, as you can see, we're welcoming Wes Adams all the way from Macomb, Mississippi. Wes, welcome to GoTarryn TV.
Thank you for having me on GoTarryn TV.
We appreciate you coming on here, and for all the folks watching out there, Wes and I have been really, really good friends, very, very close friends for nearly, 10 years now. And he was at my wedding as one of my groomsmen earlier this last year, and so really thrilled to have him on here. Wanted to have him so I can interview him and just basically ask him about his wrestling career, and we're going to dive into how we met and talk about that. But Wes, if I could please ask you, can you tell everybody again where you're from and a little bit about yourself, and I guess we could just start from there.
Okay. Oh, I'm from Macomb, Mississippi originally. Living here right now temporarily. Be moved to Biloxi next summer. While I'm not wrestling, I'm school teaching 6th grade social studies. I have my teaching credentials in elementary education, also a business management degree from University of Southern Mississippi. I have a little bit of background in sales, furniture, mattress sales. As you well know, you've been to most of the stores that I've worked at and seen them. A little bit of restaurant management experience, but right now teaching school and still doing the independent wrestling thing on the side.
That's awesome, and I guess I understand. I know, but I guess we'll tell the people. Biloxi is from where your girlfriend Kristen is from, obviously, and so we've got to mention her. And she's also a professional wrestler as well. And I understand she had a really great trainer, teacher too.
Yeah, I've never met him before, but no, I'm kidding. I did it. Yeah, she's a quick learner, and she she had a background in martial arts, so that transitioned over really well into training in the ring.
Yeah, that's great, excellent. And okay, so let's back up now. Let's go back about 10 years ago. I think I might have the date right. I think it's like November 2005. Gosh, I guess that would be exactly 10 years ago then in that case. And I think that's where we met, and that was down, I believe it might have been McDonough, Georgia, or somewhere down there, South Georgia. And that was at a wrestling training camp, I guess, with WWE. Can you tell everybody a little bit about that? Maybe we could start from there.
Yeah, I remember at your wedding when I was telling that story of how we met. I remember getting there super early, all pumped up, thinking I was going to be the first guy there, but you were the one that beat me there. I was like, oh man, this guy! Look at this guy. That kind of started the basis for our friendship. We were the first guys there, ready to do what we had to do. But yeah, that Deep South camp, it was kind of it was a good experience, but business-wise, it wasn't what I was expecting. And we've talked about this in the past. We were both under the impression that there were going to be people from talent relations there, that it was going to be more of a open tryout for WWE is what we were led to believe.
Absolutely.
We paid our money.
Yes.
And looking back, it wasn't a great deal of money. It wasn't like we got scammed for thousands of dollars or anything, but we were a little misled into what the camp was going to be about. And we both went in there expecting, we were expecting Johnny Ace and Carano and all the talent relations guys there with clip pads and notebooks and taking notes. But we actually got there, and it was 3 days of drills and style training. We've all read, and we know whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what we got. And what we thought was a tryout for WWE was a tryout to sign up for the Deep South Wrestling Training School that was run by Joe Hamilton and Bill DeMott. And I think we start off about 40 guys, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the last day, it was so brutal that the last day there's about 10 of us left, or it might even be less. I'm kind of fuzzy on how many, but it wasn't very many left. And then when they called us into the office individually to talk to us was kind of when we were told, well, you can train here, but you're going to have to pay the rest of the $3,000 fee. And then it was kind of like, oh man, that's what this was about. So I mean, but the 500 squats a day, 250 push-ups, running 3 miles, constant in-ring drills. You really found out what we were made of.
Hmm.
Which is a good thing, and I honestly believe that is a good way to weed out people who don't belong in the professional wrestling business. You and I both know that there are a lot of people in it that are in the ring that don't belong there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make it through 2 hours of training of any type, much less some of the things that Bill DeMott required us to do.
Hmm.
And it's really a way to separate who belongs in the ring and who belongs in the seats. So, and from what we through, we maybe missed the friendship we had. All the other guys were just kind of set apart to the side. They were just doing their thing, but we were, kind of pushing each other, to make it through and stick with it, and not quit. With that just carried over outside of the WWE camp also. So,
Yes, definitely. And yeah, what I remember about that, the end of it, I think everyone got to wrestle around with Bill DeMott, but that consisted of him pretty much just trying to lie on everybody and just see if you can push him off of you. So.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And then I'll never forget the day. Was one of the days, I don't remember which day it was, but remember how they gave us about an hour or so for lunch, and we both had the attitude where, well, we want to hang around and get as much knowledge as we can. Let's just go grab a subway.
Yeah.
We'll stay an hour, but we would run out, eat our subway, come right back to the building to try to hang around and talk a little bit extra. Because remember when we left and we came back, and Bill says, he goes, "Did you guys eat?" And we said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "What'd you eat?" "A subway." He goes, "I'm making it my personal mission to make sure you throw that subway up in the garbage can." Yeah. So, and it do it. We're the guys. Well, so,
Yeah, if any good came out of it, even though it wasn't what we expected, at least it brought you and I together as really good friends. Because I really do mean it. You're definitely a very, very close friend. Consider you almost like a brother to me. And so from there, Wes, and I remember I have this documented in January. So only about 2 months later, you ran a show. And for those folks who don't know, Wes is a promoter of his own wrestling shows. And he had asked me to come out there and be on the show, which I gladly agreed upon. I love wrestling for you and on your shows, and that's where we sparked that connection. And so, how long have you, I guess, been running shows? Where have you been running the shows? And maybe we could talk a little bit about the talent that you have on your wrestling shows.
um, about I don't know, first show years happy in business. I started wrestling. My first match was in March 2000, and I my first show 3.
Hmm.
One of the things that led me to do that was, you know, if you're a lifelong wrestling fan and you get in the ring and you start working every weekend, you get a quicker understanding of how booking is supposed to work and
Hmm.
what it takes to draw money and get crowd reactions. And I felt like I picked up on the booking uh, sense of things pretty quickly because I mean
Yeah.
you've even seen I was booking matches with my LJNs and angles. I've shown you my booking sheet. It's great. So that was always a passion of mine, was coming up with different types of angles and storylines. and
Yeah.
and you fortunately going to school for business, I learned different tricks along the way to apply business practices to promoting wrestling events, which was not being done on any of the shows that I was working in Mississippi. You
Yeah.
know, it's the old attitude, and it's not just Mississippi, but I'm sure it's a lot of places where most people print one Microsoft Word flyer off the computer that says Wrestling Saturday, and then hang one up in the local gas station,
Uh huh.
run a show, have 30 guys in the dressing room, 15 people in the crowd, and then wonder why nobody's coming. But with there being so much entertainment, so many TV shows, so many movies, so many different things to do, it's harder now than ever to promote an independent wrestling show and draw money and draw a crowd and keep that crowd coming back. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I decided in 2003 I wanted to try my hand at promoting. First thing I did was I sat down and I made a list of the guys I wanted to bring in. I found a building. I got a good deal on a building. Paid to budget for what I wanted to pay for advertising, what I wanted to pay for the building, for sessions, pay for talent. And once I had that budget, I went and hit the streets and sold sponsorships until that budget was met. So I didn't need my own money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we promoted that. Me and Jason deal. Jason helped me. We put out posters. We,
Mm-hmm.
did everything we could. Got newspaper ads on the budget. And it wasn't a budget show. But we managed to pull in a little less than 100,
Mm-hmm.
which at the time, at the time, this is the real lean era of independent wrestling, especially in Mississippi. There were crowds of 15 to 30 or 40 people. Nobody was drawing anything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big reason why. It's because nobody was doing what needed to be done. And so after that first event, and I didn't get rich. I didn't go pay my car off or buy a new house or anything, but made a few $100s, and I said I'm going to continue to do this on a trial and error basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I started selling shows. As you know, if we've sold shows together, we've gone in with packages, schools and fundraisers, and just really treated it like a business. And since 2003, I promoted over live events, the majority being with our now since 2008, November 8th, it's about 7 years of Power Slam
Mm-hmm.
coming up. But me and Reggie and the others involved, Ryan, Jackson, you, Jason, anybody that helped, we're doing it as a business. Yet we love wrestling, but we do love wrestling. We know there's a lot of people who love wrestling, but we do it with a business sense too. We're not running just to glorify ourselves. We're not running just to impress our family and friends. We're trying to either make money for a charity or school, or we're trying to do it for us, depending on the situation. So we try to take a everything and then mix it with the you work with a real old school approach. We try to mix the old school wrestling with new style gimmicks and music and stuff like that. And I think as far as a Southern independent promotion goes, we've been pretty successful with that. And as long as the opportunity's there for us to promote and have fun doing it and make a little money doing it and help others make money for the high school bands, football teams, baseball teams, nonprofits, whatever the case is, we'll continue to do it as long as we can.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I'm not just saying it just because I've been on your shows or, but honestly, I've had so much fun at every single show that I've ever been at with, Power Slam. Like ever since I've been wrestling over there, it's just my favorite. And every show, I'm just blown away. I'm impressed. I just, not caring about only my match. I sit there and watch everyone else. It's like, man, this is so great the way it's pulled off. It's pulled off in a very professional way, and I got to commend you on that. So let's okay. So then, if we follow, I guess, a timeline here chronologically, you got an opportunity. It looked like to work for the WWE, and can you go in and talk about when that happened and how did that happen and your experiences there?
Right. Well, I met was when I started trying to get down on getting a job wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time frame, the only place you worked for was WWE. TNA was still fairly new. The situation they were in that time period of going from Nashville to Orlando, so it was real shaky job situation there. So I really started trying to make a full effort to get signed. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess a couple of months after the Deep South camp, uh, a friend of mine down in Tennessee, she called me and told me she wanted to run a show. And I said, okay, well, tell me what you got in mind. And she told me what she had in mind. And I told her exactly what she needed to do. I said, you need to set a budget, you need to set a card, and go forward. So I gave her all the advice, and to her credit, she followed every piece of advice that I gave her. And
Mm-hmm.
and then unexpectedly, she called back and asked me to come in and book the show for her,
Hmm.
the card. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll be glad to do that for you. And I took Ryan and Jay
Mm-hmm.
um, up there, Ryan Jackson or Shane Champagne, and then Cool Jay Steele. And there's another guy with us. It wasn't Reggie, but there was somebody else. But anyway, we went up there, and long story short, we got up there. Card was booked, and former WWF champion Sir Mo was up.
Oh, okay.
I looked on the card, mind you.
Huh.
He, I don't know what the situation was. I think he just heard the two people running the show, and he just wanted to come up see if he could get work. He shows up, and I sat down and talked to him, and he was like, uh, I want to work tonight. And I was like, well, card's kind of booked, So I don't know what the situation is, or we have it, not idea. And I said, well, let me see what I can do, because he's a veteran, just acting, but so I talked to run the show, and I told them what the situation was, and asked me what they thought, and I said, well, it doesn't hurt you to have a former WWF Tag Team Champion on your
Mm-hmm.
card. So I mean, if we can squeeze a little money, then it wouldn't hurt to have him. And
Mm-hmm.
they said, okay. So they said, well, they put it, let me make the decision. So shuffling of the card, changing the main event match to me and Cool J Steele against all that Alan Steele and Sir Mo in a tag team match. And I worked with Sir Mo, and after the match with Mo was real complimentary of my work. He said, "Man, you have a good look." He said, "You got." At the time, I was wearing the white biker shorts with the neon green trucks over and the neon green knee pad. So it was really different. And he told me, he said, nobody's wearing gear like that around here. And he asked me how old I was. And I said, well, I'm 26, just turned 26. And he said, man, he said, you need to be trying to get signed. He said, because you're getting close to that age. He said, once you get to 30, you're not getting any younger, and they less likely to give you looks. So I really took
Mm-hmm.
that advice to heart and started making tapes, started printing tons of pictures, and I just started making WWE packages every other day. Sending boots to people. He was working at the time, and I just started bugging him relentlessly
Mm-hmm.
until I finally made contact. And then, sure enough, one of the very last days I talked to him, he said, I want to bring you in for two TVs. He said, there's Monday Night Raw in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the SmackDown ECW tapings in Mobile, Alabama. So finally, after I've been doing indies for a little over 5.5 years, finally got my first extra talent booking, and that's what I was brought in for extra talent. I wasn't. It wasn't like well, there's a fine line between saying I got a tryout and then I got an extra talent booking,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so cut and dry. There's a lot of people that run around saying I got a tryout, but you got an extra booking. There's a big difference, and
Mm-hmm.
I got an extra booking is what I got this time. And but I was thrilled, because to me, we talked about this uh, several times before. At that point, there weren't hardly any guys, and still to this day, there's not many guys that have had any kind of workout or tryout or even an extra talent booking with WWE or anything. And to me, when you can say you've worked in some capacity with WWE or a bigger company like Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor, or there's a lot of legitimate companies out there, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, or working in or working, in Mexico. There are things that you want just that legitimacy about them, and then when somebody's a wannabe, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and really up until that point in time, I kind of still wasn't sure of myself. I was still kind of looking down at myself, like, yeah, I've done some good indie bookings. I've made a little bit of money, not much, promoted some good shows, but I still didn't feel like I was full blown wrestler yet until I actually got booked by WWE, and then forever I could out of WWE. So I was happy to get that first extra booking, and I never in a million years would have thought that it would have led to what it led to. The first night they put me in the ring on Sunday Night Heat with Big Daddy V Viscera.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul. He was a great guy, and still miss him. He was really, really good to me. I met him on the Indies in Memphis and worked Jerry Lawler's territory with him, and
Mm-hmm.
they put me in the ring with him my first night. So in about a 3 month period, I worked with both members of Men on a Mission. And after the match was over, it was just a simple 4 or 5 minute squash match, nothing elaborate. I didn't get anything in, but I was able to go out and say, hey, I worked in front of 10,000 people in Lafayette, Louisiana, and worked a WWE match because I wasn't expecting to work that night.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I wasn't really knowing what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays at WWE, it's such a different atmosphere. The workouts with the extra talent are a little more organized and stuff. But back then, it was just kind of stand around and wait, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did. And so the first night I did the squash match with Viscera, and then the next when things got really interesting. Really interesting. We went to Mobile for the SmackDown tapings, and they had the SmackDown and ECW tapings, and the we got down there and we worked out in the ring a little bit. There was another guy from Indiana. His name was is Adam Evans. Really, he was a really good worker. Both kind of look, but he was a little bit taller than me, but good worker. And I believe he worked a lot with Burns out in Nashville. And they were going to tag me and Adam to work against Domino. They had just started on TV, and they were still feeding them squash guys to try to get them over. And we worked out a match with Deuce and Domino, and we were supposed to do the favor for them on SmackDown. Which we were stoked. We were like, hey, making 2 matches in a row. Adam, unfortunately, he was supposed to work Hacksaw Duggan the night before, but can't. I don't remember why, but he was disappointed about that. But both I did tag against Deuce and Domino and put them over. When all of a sudden, we went to catering, and me and Adam were sitting in catering and eating, and a producer, I don't remember who it was, came running into the room and started yelling uh, for me. They said, "Who is Wes Adams? Where is Wes Adams?" I thought trouble. Raise hand. I said, "Yeah, I'm here." And they're like, "Johnny Laurinaitis wants to see you in the ring right now." All right. So I had just loaded up a plate full of WWE catering, and it was still steaming, and I was like, okay. So I ran up to the ring, and Johnny was in there with Dusty Rhodes and um, Monty Brown or
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Corvine. He had just
Yeah.
started on TV, and the week before he had won a squash on live ECW against Cassidy Riley, and I watched that match, and I knew Cassidy from the Indies. I watched Cassidy on the Independents before I started wrestling,
Hmm.
and he finally got his break and got signed, and I was like, oh, maybe that will be me, just kind of halfway joking. But Johnny get in the ring, and Johnny says, "Better change tonight, kid. You got Marcus Corbin on ECW. You up for it?" Yes, sir, Johnny. What to say to that? I said, absolutely. It's like, oh, great. Well, me and Dusty are going to produce it, and here's what's going to happen. So we put the whole match together, and they changed the match and everything. Well, go out there on the live ECW, do the favor for Marcus Corvin, and when I get back in the curtain, Johnny stands up, Vince stands up. They both shake my hand. Hey, thank you, kid. Good job. We appreciate you doing that for us. And Johnny says, "Go get a shower, get dressed, come to my office." Yes, sir. So went, showered, got dressed, went to his office, and he was like, "Tell me a little bit about what you're doing for a living right now." And at the time, I was working for AAA ambulance, driving the medical van and transporting patients. So I wasn't making a whole lot of money, but making a decent living. I told him, and he said, "All right, well, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to send you to, I want to sign you to a developmental deal, and I need some referees. So I want to make you a referee." I said, "How does that sound?" And a job wrestling in the wrestling business, absolutely. Who's gonna, in my
Mm-hmm.
position, who's gonna say no?
Sure.
So it's, of course, a lot of, down here in Mississippi, and other places, just, the whole story went around was, oh, he sucked as a wrestler, so they signed him as a referee, you know, and that's not anywhere near, if you suck at anything, they're not going to sign you at all. If you
Of
suck at
course.
anything, you're
Right.
not going to. I mean, that was just like a lot of sour grapes going
Oh
on
yeah.
there. I got several hate emails and stuff like that. But it was just, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that go through that,
Mm-hmm.
and try to rain on your parade, so to speak. And Johnny, he asked me, he said, all right, well, he said, you know how our system's set up? I said, he goes, okay. He said, well, deep south. What's up? I said, well, I think I'm going to OVW. I'd like to check it out. All right, I'm going to kind of funny. Whatever you wanted. Um, but OVW had such a long history behind it. With Jim Cornette and Al Snow, and all they did, and Danny Davis especially, all they did for OVW. I never did get to visit OVW. Um, but I'd always wanted to go there because it had such a rich history as a strong developmental territory, and
Mm-hmm.
and creating so many stars and good workers. And Deep South was still, um, uh, but his idea was to go train in South. Uh, Another person that Patrick helped me. I think that's what it was because his dad Joe ran South, and he wanted Nick down there injury, and that's all I said. Every week, moved to McDonough, Georgia, in the same building that we were doing our tryout, and
Mm-hmm.
I was working in developmental.
Very cool. Very nice. And then how long did you stay there for? About.
Well, Deep South, I was in Deep South for about just a little less than 3 months was when Johnny came and pulled the plug
Oh right. Of course. Mm-hmm.
from Florida, and that was a crazy thing to be a part of because it happened overnight.
Yes.
They, I know there were some serious lawsuit issues involved as far as Joe Hamilton was putting Deep South Wrestling on television in markets that WWE didn't want him to. And I know it went back and forth with particular talent where the events want a particular talent to do a gimmick or something. Well, Joe didn't necessarily want him to do that gimmick because he
Mm-hmm.
was doing his own thing on Deep South TV, and there was just a lot of headbutting going on back and forth there, and I wasn't around long, but I was still there long enough to see a little bit and know what was going on, and I felt bad. There was one particular guy, just for his sake, I won't say his name, but WWE wanted him to work on a particular gimmick and try something out, and Joe didn't want him to, and he thought the gimmick was stupid, and the guy was in the ring trying to gimmick out, and Joe's burying the gimmick while the guy's in the ring, and I'm in the ring. I'm in the office with the other referees watching with Joe while Joe's burying this guy's gimmick
Hmm.
and just crapping all over it. And then the guy comes back in the office and Joe's crapping on the gimmick and yada yada yada. And I felt so bad for the guy because he got orders for someone money, and here's the for him what doing stuff, and it just made it real uncomfortable. And then the ultimate idea was to get WT. And if they ever called you and told you they had an idea for you or they wanted to do something,
Mm-hmm.
it was in your best interest to do it because that meant somebody had an idea for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you take that idea and run with it, and then you're gonna start making some money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular guy, he got through all the bull and got on TV and did well for himself, and he's not with them anymore. But hopefully, I mean, he had a good run, and I'm proud for him that he was strong enough as a person to get through some of those mind games because it could be just right. But yeah, that was some stuff that led to closing down deep south in Oakland, Florida, championship. Right?
And then, yeah, you were there when that happened and through that transition. So, what did that mean for you? That physically you really relocated down to FCW, didn't you?
Yeah, Mike Bucci came down with Johnny the day they closed. It was Mike,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, and Ty Bailey had just started,
Mm-hmm.
and individually they talked with each person and told them. There were a couple of guys who were they were pretty close to going to TV that they sent to OVW, so they keep working on TV
Mm-hmm.
and keep their training going because they knew it was going to be a little while before Florida got really kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I was only referee because referee John Cone, who was in Deep South Developmental with me, just went full time.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple of local referees that Joe Hamilton used that weren't that never got signed, and of course they didn't make the transition to Florida. So for a while, I was the only referee in Florida to start off with. But yeah, we all packed up and we moved everybody. A lot of us, Brodus Clay, the Harts, Robert Anthony, the late Sean Osborne, Afa, Heath Slater. A lot of us, we all moved into the same apartment complex and started going to training together. And we originally trained in a baseball academy. They set up two WWE rings inside of a baseball school, and then about after a month of that, they signed a lease on a grocery warehouse, and that was the original FCW arena over on Del Mabry Avenue. And then they started building that from scratch. It didn't have any air conditioning when
Huh.
we first got there, so it was brutal. It was brutal conditions. Everybody was lean. Everybody lost a lot of weight because we were training hard every day. Dr. Tom had taken over as the head trainer, and him
Mm-hmm.
and Steve together they put us through some amazing workouts, and amazing in the fact that they were different from what Bill DeMott had done with us. That was more physical conditioning, but Dr. Tom and Steve, they put us through more wrestling drills. You know,
Mm-hmm.
bump taking, rope running, chain wrestling
Mm-hmm.
skills. So it was a different type of training, but that was how Florida Championship got started.
That's cool. And did you? What did you think of living down there too? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's nice. It was really nice. It was close to the beach,
Uh huh.
always sunny.
Uh huh.
You know, McDonough. McDonough's kind of small town. It wasn't a whole lot to do there. But
Mm-hmm.
down in Tampa, we had you had hockey games, football games, baseball games. You had all kind of stuff you could do
Mm-hmm.
if you were off. We would train from 9 in the morning, usually about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, sometimes later. But there was always something to do down there, so it was super nice down there in Tampa.
That's cool. And then during that time too, I remember seeing some pictures of you with a bunch of different superstars. It was at WrestleMania 24. Is that correct?
That was 24. Yep.
What do you remember about that night and any stories from that WrestleMania just being
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. I mean, they started building up to that WrestleMania, and I'm trying to think. I was told. Well, at that point, at the time that WrestleMania came, I had been on the road
Hmm.
since the previous July,
Okay.
so I had been on the road about 8 9 months. I was on SmackDown and taping. I was doing paper. What necessarily working. on pay-per-view. You do a dark match or a multi-person match, but I pretty much win every pay-per and a few select shows. Um, and when Russ started coming and it got around to the Royal Rumble, and I was riding around with Charles Robinson and Mike Posey, and that was when I really started WrestleMania jitters. I'm like, am I going to be, am I going to be booked for the show? And I was asking Charles, I was like, Charles, you think I'm going to be booked at WrestleMania? And he was like, of course, man, you've been going to everything. So about I guess about a month before um, WrestleMania, Mark Carrano in talent relations. If you watch Total Divas, you'll know who he is. He's been on there several times. He was super nice guy to me. He pulled me aside. And well, guess what? We're sending you to Mania. And I was like, man, that is the best. That was awesome. Sit there and be told that you were booked for Mania. He said you're gonna in the ECW not title, the Battle Royal. They had the Battle Royal where the winner got the ECW title shot. And originally, and this was kind of going around, and it's still going on to this day, to where they would announce a TV match for WrestleMania, but then the day of or the day before, it would get pulled and bumped to the dark match, which happened, which it did make a difference to me. I mean, I was there, at WrestleMania. So we got down to WrestleMania, and the most amazing part of the Hall of Fame is, especially if you're a big wrestling fan, the Hall of Fame is a amazing thing to be a part of, especially if you appreciate history of the business. You guys go to the Hall of Fame, meet the legends, and trust the word. And what's my last memory from WrestleMania was that morning, Big Show and Floyd Mayweather had been working out in the ring. They had set up a ring in the hotel that we were staying in.
Oh, wow.
Morning, all the Florida Championship Wrestling guys got there, and we started taking the ring down and loading it back onto the truck. And we loaded the FCW ring truck, and me and Mike Posey were getting ready to leave to go to WrestleMania, because we had to be there a little bit early. Whenever Michael Hayes just kind of comes walking into the ballroom, and he stops and he looks around. Where blankety blank is the ring? And me and Posey are looking around because we were in charge. We were in charge of that ring. He's like, Big Show and Floyd want to practice their match one more time before the show. Where's the ring? And we were like, man, well, we tore it down and loaded it on the truck. Well, then put it up.
Oh my God.
CW put back up.
Oh, wow.
Down, loaded it on the ring truck. So, long story short, Mike were our for our call time for WrestleMania. And
wow.
we got there, we got to WrestleMania, and it was about, I want to say, only about an hour and a half. Doors they already started letting people in by the time me and Mike got there.
Wow. Oh my God.
But yeah, it was so funny because Mike was driving, and we had a rental car, and in Florida they have all those tollways.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And they have the where you're supposed to stop and pay the toll, or they have the radar where if you had to speed past the radar and you can just go on through.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a speed pass, and Mike's driving like a maniac, and he's going in the lane with the radars and passing through them. It's like all of them are pushing our pit we go because he's not stopping to pay to have a speed pass. And he goes, I'll pay it later. So we finally got to the building and they were already opening the doors. It was about an hour and a half for the first match, and we got dressed, went to catering, and got the run sheets and found out what I was going on. So we didn't really get to soak in the backstage WrestleMania atmosphere as much as we'd like.
Yeah.
But great. So I remember on the match and just like, I was like, that Warlord was standing right next to me, watching tanks, and uh, ratings, battle oil was easy. I mean, you can't mess up refereeing a battle oil, so there's not really any pressure on
Mm-hmm.
the match, And then after it was over, just kind of watched the rest of WrestleMania. Got to watch the Ric Flair retirement match with Shawn Michaels, which
Mm-hmm.
had half the people in the dressing room boohoo, and it was sad because it was just such an emotional match, and everybody was crying and stuff. And it was just a great atmosphere. That was, we were down pretty much every one of them at one point or another. Some and some of them are terrible, but that was a good one. WrestleMania 24 was a good one to be a part of. So I was, you know, always have that memory.
Yeah, it's surreal. I bet that must have been just amazing to experience that. Yeah, and then so we move forwarding up to summer of 2008, and at this point you're transitioning back home, I believe, leaving WWE, and then coming back. And when did you create Power Slam Productions? I know that was a joint venture, but how did that evolve?
Well, once I got released from WWE, I decided, because once I got there under circumstances I did, that
Mm-hmm.
was me, uh, Lee, and kind of like there for a little bit, there, especially some, case. I mean, that's all my whole life was work for WWE and
Mm-hmm.
spend your whole life trying to get there, and you get there, and then a year and a half later, the dream's over. It's
Mm-hmm.
gone. What do you do with the rest of your life? Fortunately, I have a college degree, so I mean, I can get work, but you want to do something that you love,
Mm-hmm.
and that was something I loved doing. Would work 60 or 70 hours a week on the road, but it wasn't like work, because I loved
Mm-hmm.
what I was doing. And I almost quit the business then. I almost said, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to, I mean, three age, but more left. So I thought about quitting business, but then there's a lot of guys like Reggie and Ryan and me, and just said, I'll take some of the principles we be out of running my own shows. And that was when we all got together and created Power Slam Productions
Mm-hmm.
and set our standards. And my initial um, release from WWE came on August 15th, and I had the 90-day no compete clause. And so they were still sending me checks up until November 15th. And
Okay.
I was told was not to work on television. No Ring of Honor, no TNA, but you can take indie bookings, do whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say nothing about running my own show. So while they were sending those checks, I was taking some of those checks and using them to try to run the first Power Slam event, which
Mm-hmm.
that was a different show. Because I was in the process of moving from Florida back to Mississippi, so I was trying to promote the show over the phone, do everything. So I wasn't able to really get as many sponsors over the phone. But that you they had to go we had on the Byron Cott, who's been winning July. Maybe you, Calvin Rose, Joe Kane,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a lot of other work that it was a success. We just kept the ball running with it, and still rolling. It rolls, but it's rolls.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's just a really great show. You guys always do an awesome job, and I love wrestling with you guys. So now, fast forwarding to today, present day, I understand you have a show coming up pretty soon, right?
Yep, this coming Saturday, 1 week from today, Wrestle Festivus 3 at Franklin County High School, Franklin County, Mississippi, is a fundraiser for the high school band. We're trying to send them to Disney World, so this is the second in a series of fundraisers. The first fundraiser we did for them raised $5. So we'll try to up any and get to
That's awesome. That's great. Excellent. And so, if anybody's interested in and they're watching and they live in the surrounding area, how can they find out more about Power Slam Productions and come into one of the shows?
You can find us on Power Slam Productions at on Facebook.
Hmm.
You can email me at wesadams1@hotmail.com.
Hmm.
You can email me directly there, and I'll answer you back pretty quick. But we do fundraiser, day party, special events. An opportunity there. Lord,
That's awesome, Wes. Well, that's great. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, a couple of random things. Yeah, please say hi to Reggie for us and tell him congratulations on the new baby. Saw a picture with you and the baby too on Facebook, so that you just reminded me. So that looked really cute. So I hope they're doing well. And a few other things too. I've really enjoyed today's video blog with you. This is really insightful. We were able to touch on some of the history of your career in wrestling. So I would definitely want to have you back on again, and we'll delve into some of the other crazy stories on the road because I'm sure you've got plenty of them. And
there's plenty
oh,
of
I
yeah.
can vouch for that because every time I'm with you, you've always got some really good, entertaining stories. And you should write a book. You really should, Wes.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody from ECW Press is watching your video,
And also a few other things too. Just a couple other random thoughts for the folks watching. Last year, or actually, no, I'm sorry, this year technically. I guess it was New Year's. I came down there, and you were able to train one of my mutual clients, our friend Ramon, to be wrestling. So that's something that you also are you still doing that in terms of will you accept new students and train them for wrestling?
not so much. We opened the school last year.
Yeah.
That financially wasn't a great success.
Okay.
It's really hard to open a wrestling school, especially full time teaching. And it really worked out better for us to just stick to promoting shows. And to me, independent wrestling right now, I I personally think there's nothing in there how to work we start training. There's too many. You know, there's the fills.
Yeah.
Let's get the ones that are in it trained first. So, but while I don't train people like a new person, I don't just train them anymore. But if there's somebody that's been wrestling for a little while and they, need some help with basics or fundamentals, and I'm not Ric Flair, Dean Malenko, and never claimed to be, but I've been around and I know enough about the how to basics. So change how to apply thing um in style into my from wrestling. So I have somebody that it needed they're already working, work out and then from my all day long. And I always pass lunch, which he doesn't miss both on, so
Yeah, no, that's great.
that's some things I like helping people with, is things like that,
Yeah.
fundamental. So, but yeah,
Well, I could vouch for that definitely. I know for sure you're very helpful with that. So, well, definitely, Wes. I got to come down there and get a chance to meet back up, and either us come down there, you come up here. We got to figure it out, and the holidays are quickly approaching, so we'll get something worked out here.
anytime.
Yeah, perfect, Wes. Well, thank you so much again. And for the folks watching, in case you're interested in finding out more about Power Slam Productions, we're going to have the direct link here on the screen as we fade to black, and we'll have Wes's email contact information as well. here shortly. Wes, thank you so much for this very exclusive, insightful interview here, and I can't wait to have you back here on GoTarryn TV.
Thank you. Same here.
All right, take care out there in Macomb, and say hi to everybody for us.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, here comes Wes's contact info and Power Slam Productions right now. Okay, everybody, there you had it. That was Wes Adams out in Macomb, Mississippi, and he's with Power Slam Productions. And that was the first time ever that I got to interview him here on GoTarryn TV, but definitely want to have him back here very soon. And I want everyone to check his information out. Again, email him and check out Power Slam Productions when you get a chance, too. So there you have it right there. You can see the logo, the chest, very similar to that of Taryn the Traveling Trainer, but no, I'm just joking. But hey, like I said, that flew by really fast. I hope you enjoyed that video blog as much as I did, and that was some really, really good information from a true veteran, both in the wrestling business, but also, more importantly to me, a very true friend of yours truly. So, Wes, if you're watching, thank you very much again, and I hope to talk to you soon, and I hope to see you soon, too. So, for everyone else out there, thanks for tuning in today on this Monday, and a few other things that everyone can check out. Once you check out Power Slam Productions, then check out the website link right there that I'm pointing at, www.gotarryn.tv. Bookmark that as a favorite to your web browser and tell 2 people about the website today. Also, if you haven't done so yet, I encourage you to like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, follow GoTarryn on Twitter, and you'll stay connected with yours truly, Taryn, the traveling trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training, who tells each and every one of you that with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Happy Monday, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next video blog. Bye-bye.